thanks that in Hungary everything is perfect in connection compared with other places. In Mexico, for example, it's not easy to reach some places if you don't have a car. And here, every place that I see that we will have an event, festival there, I'm not for sure that I can go there because there's some trains, some buses, something will lead me to there. So the connectivity in Hungary and also to visit around Europe, well, we have the airport and then you had so many options and it's so easy and connect with other. That's the reason I think you already visit 12 because...
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, I mean, the location of Hungary is just brilliant. I mean, it's in Central Europe and then you just fly wherever you want within 2 hours or within 3 hours. So yeah, it's really convenient. And also inside within Hungary, the infrastructure is quite good. I love just public transportation, to be honest. You don't need to drive anything, any car, any vehicles. You don't need to own a car, for example. Public transportation is really good. You can just commute with the help of metro, I don't know, bus, tram, anything. There's night bus, so it's so good.
ELTE Walk. Everything you need to know about ELTE.
Welcome to the second season of the ELTE Walk podcast series, a program of the ELTE International Strategy Office, which has been created to present everything you need to know about Eötvös Loránd University as a prospective or current ELTE student. I'm Flora Iskum, head of the International Office at the Faculty of Education and Psychology of ELTE, joined by my co-host Raissa Negrao, ELTE's International Student Ambassador and PhD candidate at our faculty. Today we are talking with our special guests, CALVA Perez Luis Omar from Mexico, studying at the Doctoral School of Biology of the Faculty of Science, and Khilola URALOVA AZAMATOVNA from Uzbekistan, studying at the Doctoral School of Linguistics of the Faculty of Humanities of our university. The topic is their experiences related to Hungary and their stories about living and studying in our country. So, Khilola and Omar, could you tell us a few things about yourselves, please?
I'm Khilola URALOVA. I'm PhD student at ELTE, at Eötvös Loránd University, and I'm doing my PhD here at Faculty of Humanities. And I think I'm a future Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics and English Language Pedagogy. So I'm quite a newcomer if I compare myself to my friend Omar, because I'm just fresher. It's my first year in Hungary. So, but it's really interesting to share my experience and my insights living and studying in Hungary.
Hi, and thank you for the invitation. I'm Omar CALVA, that's how I prefer to be named. I'm 34 years old. I'm doing my PhD in biology. I'm an expert in cave biology. And I'm doing exactly the same thing here. I study animals who live in caves. I will tell you later about it because it's related to Hungary and places that I think not all, even Hungarians, visit. So it will be very interesting, I think, for this podcast.
And now I want to do the question that many people do to me, and I think it's the first time I'm going to ask someone else this question. How did you end up in Hungary, and why did you choose Hungary at all?
Well, long story, to be honest. In my case, I wrote to 76 professors in my field, in my major, all over the world, not only in Hungary, but in the world. Unfortunately, I didn't get so many responses back. Only 6 of them, they wrote to me. And well, most of them told me that they're not already in academia at all. And as my research topic is in interdisciplinary field. For this reason, it was really difficult for me to find a supervisor. And in PhD programs, usually your supervisor is the most important person because he is or she is your mentor, supervisor. That's why it was really difficult for me. But at the end, I could get a response from 2 different countries, from 2 different professors. One of them is from Hungary, my PhD supervisor, Dr. David Walinowski. So when I accepted this acceptance letter, I was so happy. And also, with the help of this letter, actually, I could apply for that famous scholarship, Stipendium Hungaricum. And at the end, I was selected, and I wanted to make this opportunity and use it. So at the end, I just ended up like this in Hungary at ELTE University.
Well, I hope you're enjoying so far. Let's talk more about your adventure so far. And Omar, how about you?
In my case, I had been a caver like 12 years in total. And in my master, I did a very ecological study in my place in Mexico. And I was looking for a specific topic in the same area. So after 5 years of looking for a PhD to give me this opportunity, also I had a little break, that you had to take the break of academia. So I started to work and everything. So when I decided to continue my PhD studies, I started looking again. And in that moment, I applied for 2 places that actually they have the same topic. It was incredible because I was like, finally, the topic I was looking, that is evolution, taxonomic, phylogeny of cave animals. So it's very specific. And not all countries have and not all programs have. And when I was looking for, I find out that Portugal and Hungary has, in that moment, someone working with that. So I applied for both. And in this case, was like, whatever I get, because it was this topic that I want for both. And unfortunately, Hungary select me. So that's the reason I finished here, because finally the topic that I was looking for 5 years, someone have it and they accept me. Actually, they created for me. It was not in the list. I talked with my supervisor and co-supervisor, and they're like, well, we had experience. We can open this research area for you. So they even opened it for me. So that's the reason I'm here.
Oh, that's very impressive.
Well, both of you come from a faraway country compared to Hungary. It must be very different. Can you recall the time when you first arrived in Hungary? What are your first memories of the country?
Well, it was 9 months ago. Yes, in September. Actually, the exact date, 3rd September. Yeah. Well, before coming to Hungary, I did my home task, actually. I Googled, did research about Hungary and Budapest. So I knew a little bit about this country. Well, because of Wikipedia, of course. So I came in September, and my first memory was, it was really interesting, to be honest. It was all about language. As I'm a linguist, of course, I just paid attention to this language stuff, this Hungarian language. I started learning Hungarian language before coming here with the help of Duolingo. And I knew a little bit some words. I mean, köszönöm, something like this. But still, it was a little bit shocking for me that this language, let's say, barrier, because I thought everyone knows English in Hungary and everyone can speak, but it was not 100% right assumption. So, it was kind of culture shock for me at first. And then people, there's a lot of different people in Hungary, I mean, in Budapest, as it's international capital city. So, it was my first memories, actually,
Okay, and Omar?
Well, it's not fair. She's so fresh. Yes, it's 9 months, but I actually have very clear what happened. So different to her, I didn't do a research so much. I just go for an adventure. It was not my first time I traveling like backpacking, so it was like, let's see what happened. So when I came here, I even didn't bring so much clothes. I only know that the weather is for season compared to Mexico. So I'm from the desert of Mexico. So I don't have any winter clothes. So I don't have anything of that. So my backpack was empty. I only bring my cave gear, my climbing gear, my camping gear. So my backpack was only gear and a small bag of clothes. And the first thing I arrived, I remember it was August 27 of 2021. And the first thing I had to do is to go to a store to buy a sweater because it was cold for me. And then I started to buy more things because I was not prepared. It was like, okay, September should be warm, but I started to use layers and layers on September. So I had my first real hot weather until May of the next year. No, I always wear like that. So that was my first memory that I need to go to buy clothes because it was too cold for me. Hot, I don't have any problem, but when it's about winter and cold weathers, I have issues. Not now. I have 3 years now, so I'm perfect now.
Just wanted to ask, has it changed since then? I mean, is it this weather, what we are having now, is it too hot, too cold? How is it now?
It's just, well, I think everybody will agree that May is so weird this year. I can feel that it's still like cold in the mornings, and I like to run in the morning, for example, and this weather don't help me to push myself to run in the morning. So I still need to use some sweater in the morning. It's like, oh, come on, it's May. For me, my family is now in 45 Celsius in this moment, and here we have like still 10 sometimes in the morning. So it's like, I want at least to be in one layer these days, please. So it's not changed. It's still the same.
I just want to say that I passed through the same, because when I came in September back then, and in the day, we come from kind of the same climate, because I'm come from South America, and it was cold for me in September here. So it was the same thing. I didn't have any coat or nothing, only summer clothes.
Exactly.
Because, yeah, I went directly to shop.
And the summer is too short.
Oh,
yes.
To be honest, it was so hot for me in September. I was like, why is it so hot? It looks like summer. I didn't expect. I thought, well, Hungary, it's Europe. It should be cold. And I just brought my warm clothes, but it was too hot for me. And I was so surprised.
Very different.
Yeah.
In my city, when it's 25 degrees Celsius, my family is already wearing like, a little, not a jacket, but like a little overlayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's already cold. Yes. And speaking about differences that we are saying, different about the weather, but what was the most striking difference that you noticed when you came here compared to your countries respectively?
Well, I'm from Uzbekistan, Tashkent. I live in capital city. And Tashkent is surrounded by high mountains. And usually on the weekends, we go to mountains to take rest, so to have this fresh air. But here in Hungary, well, there are different kind of hills. There are a lot of hiking trails. Actually, Hungary is kind of paradise if you love hiking. But the high mountains that I really love, to be honest, when I went to Kékestető, these are highest part of Hungary. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised because for me, it wasn't so high. So it was kind of first difference in terms of the landscape of countries between my country and then Hungary.
And how about you, Omar?
I had previous experience coming to Europe, so I was thinking that will be the same. But something that I like, and it's not that it was not shock, but I like too, is that you had the 4th season. I like to see this change in the nature. Like I have every time, I think, at least the first year, every time there was a change of the season, I go to Normafa and I have the same photo for the 4 different seasons. So I have the fall, winter, spring, and summer, and I can see the difference. In my place, I'm from the north of Mexico, so it's even hotter, and it's only 2 seasons, and it's like dry and rain. And this rain is even just for some days because I'm from desert. And also, as a desert person, I always appreciate water. So now that I'm living near to the Danube, for me it's amazing. I really enjoy. I can spend hours watching the river only. And also my supervisor makes some jokes about the caving things because these caves had water. So he's like, how you like Omar? They had water. It's always like, they had water, right? Oh, yes, it's amazing that you had water in the caves. So the Danube and the seasons for me is one of the things I was not shocked, but wow, I like it when I start to explore Hungary.
Well, your places are different from Hungary. How about connections? Did you manage to make connections? Who were the first people that you met when you arrived? And do you have friends that you have made here?
Because I have more time, I can say that. Yes, I remember when I arrived, I didn't even check apartment. So I stayed in a hostel. And the first person I met in the hostel was a lady from Argentina in the desk. And she introduced me for more people. And we went to an event and we met another people from Latin America, of course. Then these people introduced me to other people from Latin America. So that's the way I started to meet more people. So at the beginning, I was in a big Latino community here in Hungary. It was more between people from Chile, Argentina, Ecuador, and Colombia and Mexico. That was like the main 5 countries. But then I started to involve in other activities in class and with classmates. And also I have sometimes this opportunity to participate in movies and series. So in the waiting for these things, I met a lot of friends actually. So I have a lot of communities. Now it's not only Latinos. It's one thing that is, for me, is amazing to have friends for countries that I have never think I will have. For example, Uzbekistan. I will never think I will meet someone from Uzbekistan in my life. Like, come on, my girlfriend is from Kyrgyzstan now. So it's countries that I know them, but I don't where I will travel to there to meet people. And here, I'm meeting people that I never think, and I am very happy to. Every time I go to any place, I like to meet people, and that's everything. So this is other advantage to be here. So it's not only Hungary in the center of, like around Europe, it's also the center of a lot of the world. So you can meet a lot of people here. And I have a lot of friends, I'm very active and social and extrovert. So I can say like I have a lot of friends.
Well, yes. The first person I saw, he was my neighbor actually in Hungary. Well, he was my neighbor in my own home country, but he was at the airport and then he showed around, and then I met my landlord and then my roommates from different countries, Nepal, China. So I had international community. I just came and I met a lot of people. Yes, from my own community, Uzbek community also, but as well as international community. And I also like socializing, meeting new people, and that's why I always try to participate in different kind of events. So, and during these events, I usually meet new people, and I get on well with strangers. I just make friends easily. So that's why I guess I have got a lot of friends right now, not only Hungarian, but as well as international from different parts of the world. And I always try to keep in touch with them with the help of social media. So, yeah, I think Hungary, Budapest is quite comfortable place to meet new people, not only from Europe, but from the other parts of the world. So, yeah, I do have a lot of friends.
Yeah, we are quite international here.
Yeah.
And how about Hungarian people, Hungarian students? Do you have any connection with Hungarians?
I have, but compared with the international community that I know, I would prefer to have more. But I have the ones I know, and I have this friendship is really a good friendship. They even have. I visit one family of one of these friends. We went to Tata to have some traditional food and everything. So I have now finally I have the country experience of visit her family. In the shootings, sometimes I met more people there because this environment is also very international because the movies are from other countries. So I know that people there know English, so it was easy, like communicate in that moment. Like, okay, since you are here, it's because you understand, because it's a mess of international things in there. So I use that opportunity to talk to Hungarians and also, but I had few, but I have. It was difficult to approach them. I think it's more like they approach me. And I think that's the way. When you try, I think they feel that they feel that their English is not good and they are shy, even though I'm not an English speaker. This is also my second language. I will make mistake all the time. I don't care. If you get the idea, if you get the message, that's enough for me. So I will prefer to have more. I'm trying to. Actually, I do hikings. I have my own group, and now it's more Hungarians coming with me. So that's the reason I had more friends now in there with the Hungarians. We share hobbies. That's the best way to make connections.
Well, all right. I do have Hungarian friends. Well, in my part-time job, there are a lot of Hungarian guys and girls. Well, we do speak in English, of course. We communicate in English language, but still, I think I have got a lot of Hungarian friends who have got experience living in a foreign country and who knows English very well. Yes, I mean, their mindset is quite international, let's say. Yes, and yeah, I can get on well with them, yeah, easily. So, yeah, I do have some Hungarian friends
But
with
they're
international
difficult.
mindset. Yeah.
They're difficult, and that's true. The mindset. The first one I know is because they even do an Erasmus or even far away. So I think they also need international in their life now because it's something that they experiment and maybe they miss it. So I had one friend that she told me like, no, I just came from Korea. She started to speak with me because I think she needs the internationals too.
Yeah, maybe to practice the English also
Also.
as well. And maybe they miss that.
That environment.
Yeah.
And it might also be different culturally, how it relates to people from different country. Like I noticed that Hungarians, they are more reserved in a way compared to Latin Americans, for example. So it's different, the approach. But it's very, very good that we can find people from all around the world here. I noticed this as well, that I would never meet someone from Uzbekistan ever. And I think once I was talking to a Hungarian guy, that he was asking me if my home city, like if I spoke English there at all, or if I know Hungarians there. And I was like, no, there is no internationals in my city at all, not even from other South American countries, because we're not that international. And it's very different from here. It's like another world in a way that's very rich culturally in a way, because you can meet people from all over the place. Okay, so speaking about people from everywhere and traveling, have you traveled around Europe at all, or besides Hungary? Maybe we can start first with Hungary. Which cities of Hungary around do you know first?
Oof, I had quite a lot, but actually, I was making my list to them. May mistake also in the pronunciation, but. Actually, I didn't visit like the main ones like Eger, December. I didn't visit yet. I have like far away, sometimes like when we went to Szombathely, I visited that. Veszprém because it was a festival there, so I went there. Around Balaton, but not the classic one. I went to other places. I also have all the Aggtelek region because it's part of my studies, so I explore well there. I visit a lot of this area, and also as my major is biology, I like to be in the national parks. So I went also to Bükk mountains. I went to the cave thermal in Miskolc. So it's always to these places that is related to me. If I find something in Eger or Veszprém that is interesting to me, I will go for sure, but it's in my list. But as you can notice, I visit the small towns, village, not the other cities that many people go because are the big cities. No, I go for things that are connected with me. But yes, for the moment, my favorite parts are the national parks. Aggtelek and Bükk mountains for me are the most beautiful places, and it's related to what I do and what I enjoy to do. So if someone is listening, you should go there.
Wow. Yes. I traveled a lot, actually, I guess.
Yeah, you travel a lot.
Because I have just come from Belgium. Well, let's talk about Hungary first. Well, in Hungary, let's start the closest parts to Budapest. So I have been to Szentendre. I hope my pronunciation is correct. And then
Absolutely.
Gödöllő, Visegrád, Lake Balaton, Balaton. Yes, it was so lovely. Actually, Lake Balaton was the first place that I have visited. Yeah, after coming to Budapest, and I just love it. So beautiful. I mean, I like nature and then water as well, and that's why Balaton was my first place in Hungary, within Hungary. And nowadays, yeah, I'm traveling a lot outside Hungary. I have been to already 12 countries, I guess.
Already in 9 months?
Yes, in 9 months.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah. But yeah, I really liked traveling not only in Europe, but within Hungary also. And my next place is Eger, because yesterday I just met a girl, Hungarian girl. With her, we traveled, explored Brussels together, and then she invited me to Eger. So my next destination in Hungary is Eger city.
Just wanted to ask how you decide about your destinations.
In Hungary?
In Hungary, well, you said that it related to your research or
Research
your
and
interests
hobbies, yes.
hobbies.
So I think I was focused in the national parks. Aggtelek is basically because of my research. I have to explore, I don't know, 15 caves there. It was a lot.
Can you visit all 15 caves if you're just a tourist, for example?
No, exactly.
Tell us about it.
Yes, that's the lucky thing I have, because my research allows me to visit places that mortals can. So the ones you can visit is Baralat, and there's another permissions that you can go with some specific guy. But the other ones are reserved for people who are a caver. And actually, that's very interesting. As a caver in Mexico, the system is completely different from here, even in Europe, because I had experience in France, England, how they manage and organize their associations and how they manage the conservation of caves. In here, is a cave is in any part of Hungary, they belong to the nearest national park, and you have to ask the permission to them. And all are close. It's not possible, like for me in Mexico, it's like, I have to go to a cave and I parking and that's all. So Aggtelek is one of the one I did that, but without permissions. Even my supervisor, that he's a very, very experimental diving caver is another level. He can go. He need to bring someone who has the certificate to go with us. So in this kind of organization is interesting, but I feel safer. And I explored these beautiful caves and the amazing formations, because you have the thermal activity, so the formations are different. You have the classic ones, and then you have other forms and shapes inside the cave. And the water that I visit there, the Turkish color, like Turkish between blue, greenish, something like that, is amazing. So unfortunately, no one can go, but I can. You can see my photos, and you follow me in Instagram.
Okay. Well, it's interesting, but for me, I don't need any permission. I just choose my countries because of the landmarks or historical castles. Well, I'm into history. And I really like exploring different languages and then the culture. That's why I try to choose interesting holiday destinations for myself because of my hobbies. And if there's castle, then I will go to this place, definitely. Yes.
Yes, sometimes that's a good option. Also, it's thanks that in Hungary everything is perfect in connection compared with other places. In Mexico, for example, it's not easy to reach some places if you don't have a car. In here, every place that I see that we will have an event, festival there, I'm not for sure that I can go there because there's some trains, some buses, something will lead me to there. So the connectivity in Hungary, and also to visit around Europe, well, we have the airport, and then you had so many options, and it's so easy and connect with other. That's the reason I think you already visit 12 because
yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, I mean the location of Hungary is just brilliant. I mean it's in Central Europe, and then you just fly wherever you want within 2 hours or within 3 hours. So yeah, it's really convenient, and also inside within Hungary, the infrastructure is quite good. I love just public transportation, to be honest. You don't need to drive anything, any car, any vehicles. You don't need to own a car, for example. Public transportation is really good. You can just commute with the help of metro, I don't know, bus, tram, anything. There's night bus, so it's so good.
I was in Mexico and I hate to drive. That was like, I miss walking. I miss that someone taking me to the places. That's amazing here.
And it's actually right, as you say, that from Hungary, you can reach any famous European destinations within 2 or 3 hours by plane.
Yeah.
And it's the same that from Budapest, you can reach any Hungarian destinations within 2 or 3 hours by train.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's really good.
And now recently they introduced those monthly Hungary passes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I have got this, and that's why.
That is so cheap for students.
Yes.
And
It's so cheap.
I'm buying the country one now because
Yes,
you
better.
can go anywhere in the country with that monthly
Yes.
Hungarian.
With my hiking events, it's like I don't have to worry about anything. I can go and do whatever want to be the star, and I know that I can use this pass. It's amazing.
Yeah, if you have time, there's no problem. You can just go wherever you want. Yeah.
what do you prefer the best about Hungary? So what do you like the most about being in Hungary?
I'm from Mexico, I can say that. Yes, because Mexico have plenty of dishes and a lot of things. It's difficult to say that food, but I think about talking the topic before, traveling, the public transportation for me is the best thing. When I went back to Mexico in April, I was talking about that. It was like, how is Hungary? No, it's very nice. But the metro and the buses, they are on time. And they have the audacity to complain if the bus is 2 minutes late. Come on, I can't be 1 hour there in Mexico. Maybe the bus will come or not. So that for me is
I can
the most
understand it then.
amazing, the connectivity and the public transportation.
And for you?
Well, for me, food. Well, I do agree with him. I mean, this public transportation is, it's brilliant. But well, you know what? If you're hungry, you cannot just live, right? That's why you have to eat. And then this Hungarian cuisine, I just love it. This lángos, traditional meal. I don't know. I don't eat meat, by the way, but still, this Hungarian cuisine can satisfy my cravings. So actually here in Budapest, you can find any international cuisine. I mean, any type of meal or food you can just purchase and eat, or you can just make yourself. You can cook. Yeah, for me, this is the best thing. Yeah.
What's your favorite Hungarian national dish? Is it lángos for you?
Yeah, for me, it's lángos and pogácsa, by the way.
Yes, it's my favorite. as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
cheese pogácsa. I don't know why. I just love it. I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
And you, Omar?
I think I will go with the goulash. The goulash, I like it a lot. And also the chicken paprika. I don't know, it's traditional, but something that in my little research, that you have a spicy food. So for me, well, okay, if they have spicy food, I will be fine. So the chicken paprika and the goulash, that there's no spicy for me, but still no plain. That's something that I can talk about the food, only like something interesting that my father and mother tell me, because they recently, well, not recently, they came to visit me. So we did the classic travel to these main cities of France, Spain, the main cities, Barcelona, Paris, Rome, that. And people is very familiar with the food there, like the pizza, the pasta, the French cuisine, and the Spain. But it's this food that you can find in a restaurant in another parts of the world. When they came to Budapest and in Hungary, when they tried the goulash, they told me that they feel in home. Like it was home food. It was like the traditional food for you, the dishes are like homey food for them. So they feel like they were not traveling anymore, that they were finally in home and they were eating a soup, the chicken paprika, the rice, the potatoes. They feel like that. Like they feel like they were traveling, and in here they feeling like homey.
That's nice.
That's very nice, right? I was like, I didn't see it like that. But
have you tried fish soup? Because we have famous fish soup.
Yeah, I did.
Right?
We did actually when we went to hiking to Dobogókő. Yes, we and our friends just tried fish soup for the first time, and it was really nice. Yeah, it was delicious. I just love it. Yeah.
For me, to be honest, I don't eat seafood in landlocked countries because it's like a rule for me. Like I don't know. I will try to prefer other things that risk for fish.
You know that fish soup in Hungary is not seafood.
Yeah,
it's sweetwater fish that is caught in Hungary, in Hungarian sweet waters, natural waters usually. So
I should try it. Right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
I have to ask.
Don't worry.
I should ask.
Yeah, you will not die.
Because the seafood, I don't try it. That's
I
for
agree.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Too far. That's the only thing I ate in Mexico when I came back, like seafood.
And Flora, was your favorite Hungarian food?
Oh, yeah.
My favorite, tomato and meatballs. Meatballs in tomato sauce. That's some people call it stuffed paprika because the meatballs can be wrapped up in paprika, green paprika, then cooked in tomato sauce, and that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Something else.
Have you tried that?
No,
Yes, I try it.
Yeah, it
Fish
looks.
soup and meatballs.
Yes. Actually, in our cuisine, something we have got such kind of meal. Something looks like this, and also this fruit soup. This one is also Hungarian, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I
It's more
tried.
like a dessert, the fruit soup, but its taste is refreshing.
It's refreshing, yes.
So good. Yeah, especially in summer.
Yes. I eat always, when I eat after the main dish usually.
Oh, really?
Like kind of as a dessert. Yeah, but I love it too. And just changing the subject just a little bit from food to the community that you can find here. Did you find any community of your own nationality, I mean your own fellow citizens who live in Hungary? How is it the Mexican and Uzbek community in Hungary?
Well, in Hungary, in Budapest, we have got the Embassy of Uzbekistan. Well, it is actually brand new. We have just celebrated the 1-year anniversary of this embassy last month. Yes, and I saw that we have got a lot of people in Budapest, in Hungary, from Uzbekistan, as most of them are students, of course. I mean, they do study in different universities of Hungary, like the Balaton, Eger, here in Budapest, in different universities. And yeah, a lot of students and also some people who work there. I mean, here in Hungary, they do have their own businesses. And I was so surprised by knowing and by meeting these people. So I can say that maybe we're not so many, but this small community is quite kind to each other and then friendly. And they try to organize different kind of events in order to feel or make you feel the sense of belonging in a new country, this community vibes that you really need at the first months of your, let's say, visit to a new country. You know, sometimes you feel lonely at first, but with the help of community, you can just feel, I don't know, this kind of family or friendship feelings. So, yeah, I mean, our Uzbek community is quite good. Yeah, they're really nice. Well, not so many, but still, yeah, enough.
That's lovely. Congratulations for the anniversary, 1-year anniversary.
Thank you.
In my case about the Mexican community, let's first start with that, is we are not that many, like in other countries that I know there are thousands of Mexicans, but we have a small population here, a small community, but we do only gathering in some embassy events. is like that. Is like in September because it's the independence of Mexico, and September is basically the whole month celebrations. We have a lot of things to celebrate. It's just a party as a Latino. And then in November, we have the Day of the Dead. So that's too is when the community gathering and they then some more events. And it's when I see more Mexicans actually. But because of the Spanish language, my community is big because it's the Latino community. And when you see it in that way, we are a lot. And we are everywhere. Every month there's an event. Every month there's a new Latino bar, and you will meet everyone there. So when we are talking about Mexico community, it's in a specific time, but the whole year in here in Hungary, you will have events with the Latino community, and I don't miss anything in my home because in here I have a piece of that.
It must be a nice feeling to feel at home, even though that you're not at home.
Exactly.
Yeah. By the way, it just came to my mind whether you have noticed anything about Hungarian celebrations or holidays or bigger national events. Have you noticed? I mean, maybe you haven't, but Omar, you've been here for longer.
Yes.
And Do you have any impression of our celebrations?
I remember in August the
20th.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wanted to ask.
That's I had been in there watching the fireworks. It's incredible. You are in September, so you will see the drone show and the fireworks and everything.
Yeah.
And also it's also funny because the color of the flag of Hungary is the same color for Mexico. So I find interesting. I feel even for part of me there because it's the same colors, and it's a big show, and it's very nice.
It's actually we celebrate the foundation of the state. Hungarian state.
It's kind of Independence Day.
August. You shouldn't miss it if you're here.
Oh.
Yes, if you're planning travel in August, check this day. You should stay here.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, I will not buy any ticket in August then.
Because it's something, and well, because the community here is more Christians and Catholics. For me, it was no surprise some of the holidays you have, because in Mexico we have the same, and so I know what is going there. So there was not that big impact. But what is the
Revolution Day maybe?
In February, right? What is the February one?
It's March, no?
No, Revolution Day, it was in October or November.
I don't remember. The one I'm thinking is when you have this big costume.
In February.
Bushel. I didn't have the opportunity to go to see one.
That's the celebration of the end of the winter and the beginning of the spring, and it goes back to very old days.
I didn't go there.
No?
This village.
It's a festival in the south of Hungary.
I didn't have. I want to. That's the other one to see. And something, for example, different that I noticed the first time, it was the Day of the Dead. We have the same, like you, the same days, first and second, because of the Christian Catholic date, but your celebration is totally different. It's sad.
And I know that there is a cartoon about your Day of the Dead. There is a cartoon that my sons watched.
Yes,
it's
Coco.
so happy. That's it.
Coco. There's two actually.
Yeah.
Coco and the Book of Life, and you can see they're like this celebrating. So when I arrived here, I asked about that because they told me, it's the Day of the Dead for us. You have another name, I think so. And I asked, how you celebrate? No, we go and we pray, and it's like it's a sad. It's a sad. It's like wow. For us, it's like if you go to Mexico in this time and you visit your deaths there, you will go to the graveyard and there will be mariachi, there will be food, there will be people dancing, talking. It's a party. So as one cultural thing I find interesting that even the same day, but we approach that in a different way.
And also in Hungarian culture, you call Santa Claus in a different way. And it was kind of surprising for me. Yes. I cannot remember how we call it in Hungarian, but it was different.
You mean Mikuláš?
Yes. I was really surprised. What is it? And it was kind of explained it by my Hungarian group mates. It's kind of Santa Claus, but we call it in a different way.
And also it's in December 7, no? Some at beginning
The
of the
6th, yeah.
6th.
It's a
Yes,
different
yeah.
day.
Yes.
Day.
That's a different celebration from Christmas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It was like 24. No. 6.
Yeah.
He arrives early here.
There are a lot of holidays here. This is something that I like compared to a few other countries. Maybe there are many holidays. And in the public holidays, the national Hungarian holidays, well, I think I mentioned before, the museums are for free. So
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
it's like 3 times a year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And I'm here for a few years. So all the museums I know, I visited one of those days because I went for free. Need to be smart.
Yes.
March, August, and October.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
October, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Even Parliament.
Yeah.
Yeah. I visited Parliament and I saw it and it was, oh my God, it was so beautiful.
I'm free.
Yes.
For a student, it's good.
Even better. No. In your time here, have you had the opportunity to be engaged with some association or some volunteer work or something besides ELTE or work?
I have two. Them because I like to hike, and I see that it was a great opportunity to create a community. I created my group called Meaningful Hiking, and I already had 1 year and a half, for example, and it was growing and growing and growing. So I didn't join. I created because I see that there was a lot of people creating hikings, but sometimes they are like you had to pay a fee. It was too much, and I wasn't thinking for the students an option that I do for free. I just go and I make the groups, and I create small roads around Hungary, not in Budapest, around Hungary. And I start with 4. I remember my first one. They are close friends, and this last day I have 30, 35 people joining every time. So I create that one, but also now we are part of DOS, that is the Association of Hungarian PhD and DLA candidates. So we are like representing our countries. We are going to do basically supporting the ones who are coming or the ones who are here. Also looking for scientific events for them. It's all basically create an international community, but related to PhD. And my task is to focus first in Mexico, but also to more. And also she have to do the same thing, but for her country and in an international community. Something that you want to add about those to be there? Because we are like
Yes.
1 month, I think. Yes.
Yeah, we have just started actually this volunteering stuff as a DOS ambassador for, in my case, for Uzbekistan. I do also represent Uzbekistan and then students, PhD students who are coming to Hungary in order to obtain their degrees. So we're gonna here for helping them to give any advice, mentoring. So even organize different kind of events like workshops, seminars, or conferences for international PhD community, especially on the first place for our own country students. So yeah, and also I can add. So with the help of my embassy, I usually organize ELTE at the university, different kind of seminars and then workshops for students who are from Uzbekistan, because at ELTE there are more than 15 students from Uzbekistan. So yeah, it's kind of a volunteering job. I just help my embassy and then the other organizations to organize different events. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically helping to deal any challenge they have here in Hungary. So actually this episode will be good for them, for people who will come. It will go, like listen to know how is the experience, what things you can do, what maybe you can't do. I think that's a first step to, as a DOS ambassador, as an ELTE ambassador that I am, to just share what is happening here. And since I arrived, and that was kind of my goal, even though I didn't know about the ambassadors of ELTE, for example, to create a community and help as much possible I can to join this adventure to study in a foreign country like Hungary, and also to avoid the classic countries that people go, that there's other offers here, like As me, I'm not here because it was the only option. There's topics here that made you interested, and you should risk also. Not like I want to go to Spain because I speak Spanish, for example. I hear a lot of that. It's not how you should select your topic that you will live of that. So that Europe is too many universities, too many countries. So Hungary is a good option to come and study and live.
Great touched on that, because now I want to do a bonus question. Why would you recommend Hungary to everybody that is listening now? To live here, to study here? Why Hungary?
I think, as I mentioned, if you're a person of like to be in an international community, this is the place. This is the area. The city has a lot of opportunities to try a lot of kind of food, as you mentioned. You can visit around every part of, and actually, Europe also. There's a lot of connection flights to North Africa, to the Middle East, so places that I will never think also to go. So it's a very strategic point if you want to develop in outside your country maybe. And to study, well, the study will depend, but I know that ELTE is one of the best universities to study. So if your program or your topic is there, you should look out and consider Hungary as an option, because you will enjoy this life here. I enjoy this life here.
Well, why Hungary? Why not? So, in short, you can find anything you want if you find it here in this country. Yeah, that's the
Super
reason.
sure, but yes.
Effective, yeah, makes sense.
To the point.
Thank you very much to Omar and Khilola. The next and closing episode of this season is going to be about the mentor systems available for incoming international students at our university. Thank you so much again, guys. Thank you, Flora. Goodbye.
Thank you so much.